Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the rundown video for the newest collab in Monster Strike. It is One Piece, and we've got quite a lot of things to go over. I'm actually doing this earlier than usual. Usually I wait until I get all of the details for the collab Monster Strike shots, but because there's a bunch of things that you really should be aware of ahead of time when you're taking on this collab, that I think we can wait for the character details. I'm gonna wait a little bit later to do my gacha as well as a result. So we'll change it up a little bit from the usual formula, but let's make sure that you effectively are able to complete this collab right away, because there's a few things you could be kicking yourself in the end if you don't do it properly. So as we know, the collab has already started. It started at midnight Japan time earlier today. So that was what, 8 a.m. Pacific. So it's quite fresh here. So, you know, let's just get going. We have until the 31st of August to do this gacha. That, again, that's a little bit shorter than you may be used to for collabs in Monster Strike. So be careful about that. We'll take a look at the first gacha group. As you may be aware, there are two different gachas available for One Piece. You got Volume 1 and Volume 2. Again, rest assured that you can get all of the characters you see in either version of the gacha, just that for the ones that you see listed on the banner, those will have a higher rate of being dispensed. For Volume 1, we get Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji as your 6-star monsters, and the 5-star monsters will be 4 5-star monsters. Will be Jinbei and Frankie. And just to prove what I'm saying here, the percentages here, you can see that Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji all have 1.2% chance of being dispensed, while Ace, Yamato, and Sabo will have a 0.6%. Those, of course, are the 6-star characters that you can get in Volume 2. In Volume 2, you can also get Usopp and Brook as the 4 5-star monsters, but you can see that those chances are at an 8.7%, whereas the featured 4 5-star monsters will have a 25% chance of happening. So if you do the math, it's still a 12% chance to get any 6-star monster, but it is a 5.4% chance to get any One Piece collab monster from this gacha, which is usually it's higher than usual, right? You don't get 6 monsters that have a chance to come out for a particular collab. On the other hand, if you're looking to comp this collab, it's a little bit harder because, well, now you have 6 instead of 3 to go for. But again, I just want to stress that you can go for either of these gachas, and you will be able to get all 10 potentially from a single gacha. Just make sure you watch out which one you really are looking for. That difference of a 1.2 chance percent versus a 0.6%. While small in the numerically it's small, but in the big picture could make a difference. Also, don't forget that the rate ups will begin on the 22nd of August. So if you want a particular character, you can wait a little bit. That character will go up to a 1.8% chance, I believe, to get them, while the others will be reduced to, I believe, 0.9. Yeah, I believe it goes 1.8, 0.9, 0.9, and then the others would still be at 0.6, 0.6. Of course, you can just start right away like I usually do, and just try and get them in the general pool. And if there's anyone that you really want later, just wait a few days for their respective rate up chances to pick them up. Once the gacha is on its final 24 hours, all 3 monsters will have their individual rate up. So you're going to see 6 different gachas available, each one featuring a rate up for a particular monster. Now, let's go quickly over the characters that can be achieved from the collab. We'll start with Luffy here. He has temporarily been given a 8.5 rating on GameWith. I'm just going to not go on to the details of the abilities. We already talked about that in the last Monster Strike news. If you want to see me talk about that, we can go there. But just a little bit of an evaluation of the monster, because I skipped that in the news. One, we do know that the strike shot guarantees to hit the boss. Calcidia is a great quest for Luffy to shine here. The kit looks very solid. You know, null transport wall is going to be something that comes into play later. Eventually, we can see how annoying it gets without it. You know, in some of the recent difficult quests. So definitely something that we can keep our eyes out for. And I did see that on the Twitterverse that he does have a hidden ability, and that is immune to any electric attacks. And you know, he is made of rubber with the, was it Gomu Gomu no Mi, right? That he ate. I know a little thing about One Piece, very little, but I mean it makes sense, and really nice to see that lore kicking in with the stories and, you know, gameplay mechanics, and that's actually huge, right? You know, electricity attacks are, you know, one shot deaths in some stages. So the fact that he is immune to that, you know, theoretically, if you bring a whole team of Luffy's, you might be able to just, you know, brute force stages by, you know, clearing, because of the fact that you will never die by the electric attacks. So cool bonus for Luffy there. Zoro right now has an 8.0 rating on GameWith. Again, these are all just temporary. You know, as more people use them, utilize their strike shots, find quests where they can come in handy, these ratings can change. But it does appear that he has some kind of percentage of max HP mechanic with his strike shot, that will be figured out in, you know, by the end of the day, I'm sure. But you know, the fact that his main ability includes a weak point Slayer M does mean that any of those stages where you get bonus damage to weak points, he will shine quite well. Nubile is Nobide, I think, is a pretty good quest for him to shine in as well. Sanji right now has an 8.0 rating, and his strike shot is unique in that, you know, if you saw that video, his follow-up attack will always happen at the top of that monster that you first, that's nearest to him after he's done moving. And while he's doing that strike shot, it does take advantage of the repeat hit slayer that he has on his gauge. Obviously, you need to hit it on the gauge. But if you do that, you know, you're going to get some nice damage bonus out of that. Strike shot is only 12 turns, so, you know, it's easy to miss, you know, how long a character's strike shot is. You know, don't forget about that. Use that, you know, well, you know, cycling it through when you have the opportunity to do that. He does have 4 nulls, which is a little bit attractive. There doesn't seem to be any high level quest right now that gives him a place to shine, but it might be something that we look out for in the future. But, you know, just, you know, a thing to watch out for, that his flight ability is on his gauge. If you miss that, you could get some bad times there, so be careful. Going into volume 2, we have Ace here, and, you know, you've seen that the huge fireball that he has, like, what, Escanor had something similar like that. It's a nice version of that, definitely. The fireball, it looks like it covers the entire screen. I don't know if there's a hitbox there that might exclude some of those corner monsters. The numbers look like it might be a percentage damage mechanic as well. Again, we'll see the details soon. But he's got a lot of places where he can shine. Serenade, Abyss 28, Kinki no Goku, UL 28, one of those higher, more difficult Uncharted Land stages. Definitely some places to shine for him there. And, you know, just overall, he can do good direct damage. He has really strong bomb combo damage. That's a good sign for him to, you know, keep you know, staying alive in the Monster Strike meta. Sabo here also currently has an 8.5 rating. I don't know, I keep saying dot today. 8.5 rating at the moment, and, you know, his strike shot can blast through gauges. It doesn't look like the GameWith article has much details about what's going on there, but just the amount of damage that he can provide, that punch he gives, is really strong. So you know, always good to see, you know, a monster that can, you know, just blast through gauges. Raksha and Abyss 30 have highlighted places for him, and, you know, just the skill set that he has right now makes it quite attractive. And I guess I realize I am not looking at the characters in game here, but you know, it looks like he will have a decent future. His bump combo is a little bit lacking. Would be nice to see something a little bit more. Yo-Yo is not the best, but you know, it's very solid character. And last but not least, we have Yamato, currently at an 8.0 rating on GameWith. Strike Shot does guarantee that any hits she takes, she performs on the boss, will be weak point activated. So, you know, that's good to see that it's not like positional focused. That final attack that you see will guarantee to hit the monster even if you've blasted through the gauge in the first half of the strike shot, and that's always nice to see. You always get a little bit sad when there's these cool animations but you've already killed it ahead of time and it doesn't finish off. Once, you know, as long as that first part of the follow-up attack you know, has HP left, all of that will carry over going forward, which is good. She has a place with Requiem right now, but you know, looking forward, you know, Null Magic Circle, Warp, and damage walls, and even, you know, recently some of those high damaging laser stages, she could come into play in the future for sure. Now, the 4 5-star monsters, we do want to look at it very quickly. In Volume 1, of course, good timing for a phone call. Alright, give me a second. Alright, and I'm back. Let's go over Jinbei here. He is the Water Volume 1 4 5-star gacha monster. He has Super Null Gravity Barrier, Super Null Speed Down Wall, Bomb Combo Boost, and then on the gauge we have Null Transport Wall. Again, keep in mind for those gimmicks going forward. Strike Shot is a 15 turn. It's a bash attack, and it is considered to be weak point damage, it looked like. You know, if you ever see that, you know, electricity spark coming from an attack, that's a good sign that it's hitting the weak point. And the video clearly showed he was not directly on that weak point, so pretty cool to see. His bomb combo is a Chozetsu Kidan, strong damage. You see that's almost 300k, and this will hit somebody, so always good to see there. He does currently have a 6.5. Again, for 4 5-star monsters, nobody really gets anything higher than a 7.5, so just keep that in mind when you see those ratings. Next up we have, and there we go, Frankie with a 7.0 rating at the moment. He has Super Null Warp, Null Transport Wall, and Speed Mode on the gauge. And, you know, if you can read Japanese, you can always check here. But, you know, you can see the details. Speed Mode gives you up to a certain turn, I believe until he moves, 1.5, or after he moves, right? 1.5 his normal speed. Frankie's strike shot is a 12 turn. He just fires a huge beam in the direction you point in. And of course, you know, say beam instead of laser because these strike shots will always go through any laser barriers, which is nice from some of those standard old strike shots that we used to have. His bomb combo is the Chase Sphere, which will go through your friendly units and deal damage. Volume 2, first gacha 4 5-star monster, we will go to Usopp here. He has a 7.5 rating at the moment. That's, I think, as high as you can get for a 4 5-star monster. But he does have Super Null Gravity Barrier, Null Magic Circle, Bomb Combo ×2, which is really nice because his bomb combo is the Triangle Bomb. Really nice bomb combo. Strike Shot is a 14 turn speed and power up and will fire a Skull Bomb at the farthest enemy from him when he is done moving. That's a unique one. You don't usually see farthest monster. Usually it's closest. So we'll see if that really makes it harder or easier to use. But interesting strike shot. He has definitely high ratings from GameWith. And then last but not least, we have Brook here. He has a 7.0 rating at the moment. Super Null Gravity Barrier, Null Magic Circle on the main. We also have Null Transport Wall and Soul Steel on the gauge. Strike Shot is a 21 turn speed and power up, and after he's done moving, he basically set up like this crystal area around him, and anybody that's in that area will get defense down and paralyzed. His bomb combo is an all enemy super ice block, which of course always has a chance to make that monster fall asleep. And I think I saw a video. I didn't actually see it before I started taking this video, but he might also have some gimmicks with lightning, that a hidden gimmick there, so it will be interesting to see that in action. Now, for those of you who are willing to pay a little in the game, you can purchase a special pack for not only items to help you get kick-started in the game, but you also get this exclusive monster, Nami and Robin. Again, you must pay this pack to be able to get this character. There is no other way to get Robin and Nami. Oh, I don't think this is going to even show up because I'm hooked up to the computer right now. You know, yeah, it won't work while I'm hooked up. So if you are interested in getting her, make sure you purchase that. We will go to her entry. Where are you? There you go. And you know, solid set of skills. It's 980 yen again. It does function as a max luck during the duration of the collab. By the time I looked at this, she didn't have a rating. I might have missed double checking that. So again, go ahead and check game with. But you know, no damage heal. You do get healed by, I think it was 5,000 HP. Let's see. Yeah, 5,000 HP. If you don't take any damage, or if they do not take any damage during that turn, this actually does apply even if you end up at 0 HP. Maybe you ate some damage rolls, for example. But as long as Nami and Robin didn't take damage, you will get that heal, which is a very nice, you know, Phoenix-like recovery from the dead thing. So definitely a nice ability to play around with. But you know, the evaluation that game with gave is great for newbies and anybody who is struggling on those mid-high range difficulty quests, especially newer ones, because they do have no magic circle and speed down wall on their kit. Definitely could come in handy here. So definitely, if you have the money, are willing to spend in the game. Unfortunately, I've taken a strong pledge to be a free-to-play player here, so I won't be getting this character, but it's not a bad character to pick up. Now, there are plenty of quests available. There are 4 different quests for One Piece that you can farm for your box, but before we start going into these quests, we are going to look at the pirate missions first, because there are missions here that will increase your ability. No, it will give you the ability to increase your chest drop rewards for clearing these stages. And you should absolutely do these quests first. Save yourself the time. Today is Monster Strike Day. You want to focus on these first to make sure you maximize your you know, farming output. So you can see here that there are going to be missions depending on various quests. You can see Uta, Crocodile, Hancock, Dora Flamingo, Big Mom, Chopper, who of course is in the Sacred Beast stages. But you can see that I already finished Hancock's quest here. And again, this is important because the rewards you get here, and if this is small to see, these are also on ENG Monst. You can take a look at them. They are pinned to the account at the very top, so you can access it easily. But you can see in green, well, most of the green stages, that they ask you to clear with a fairly difficult requirement. Almost all stages have a S clear the stage with 3 or more Sonota monsters, and Sonota basically means non-gacha monsters. And why I say Sonota is because you can filter for them here. Go into your box, click the one at the very bottom here, and you can see at the third item here is Sonota. You click that, and you can filter your box for monsters that meet that requirement. Again, this is the classification for non-gacha monsters. These have to have been farmed some way in Monster Strike that did not come from, you know, pulling the gacha machine. If you clear these quests, when you try to take on that quest afterwards, all the chest drops will give you 2 times their normal drops, essentially as if you're using a biscuit. Again, you can double this with the Fuero biscuit. Sorry, that's on the next stage. You can, you know, combine that with a Fuero biscuit so that you get 4 times drops to get things done even faster. Like if you really see there's a stage that you don't like and you just want it over with, go ahead and use a biscuit. You'll get 4 times drops. But as long as you clear that mission, you will get 2 times drop no matter what. However, do keep in mind that this only applies to you. So it doesn't matter if the host of a quest has that ability. It only matters if you have it. You don't give it to anybody. You don't take advantage of it from anybody else. you get your own rewards. But these missions can be achieved whether or not you host the quest. So if you join as a guest, you will still get the clears. But just keep in mind that it is an S clear rank with 3 or more non-gacha monsters. That's not always going to be the easiest. Now, for Hancock, for example, right? Mihawk. I was able to clear his quest easily with Solomon as my friendly unit and getting just 3 monsters that were equipped for the stage that were, ready to go. S rank, you may want to, if you find yourself struggling with that, go ahead and use an able berry. There are able berries that increase the time needed to get an S rank. That is fine. Also, you don't need to no-con clear this. It just says clear. So even if you die, you will still be able to get your reward as long as you S clear the stage. I tested that myself. I may or may not have picked the right party my first pass, but thanks to Solomon wiping everything out, it was still doable even though I died once. You can still clear. All good. Now, you can also see on the rightmost column that you will be getting a bounty reward in millions of berries. Right? And you can see that your reward will be tracked here on the home screen, and as you are collecting it, not only are you unlocking these missions that you see on the screen there, but there are cumulative rewards that you can get for the total amount of berries you have amassed in your bounty pack. So these are all exclusive to titles and alternate strike shot voices. So if that is something that you want, that's great. But you'll just naturally get them as you are completing, these mission rewards, which also gives you other things. But honestly, make sure you focus on getting the second quest rewards in green. This also applies to Chopper, which again, the pain of farming for those shards is I guess you can compare it to other things, but it's a bit of a pain. So you do want to get that double drop, and if you just want to get it over with, use a biscuit to quadruple drop those. Again, these missions are all on ENG Mods. They are pinned as the very first post, so you can just go to the account and find it quite easily. Do keep in mind that the double drop reward for Big Mom is not to use Sonata monsters, but rather using a team that does not have any magic circle abilities on them. Again, don't forget that this will not apply to connect skills, so if you can find a monster that is appropriate for that stage and has a connect skill, you can take advantage of a null magic circle ability without being disqualified for this. Already talked about this. Now let's talk about the events. Unlike the standard Monster Strike collab events, there are no 4-5 star monsters that you need to farm. All monsters here will be 6-star monsters. In addition, there are no 24/7 direct drop quests. They will all be scaling to max luck monsters. So the more max luck monsters you bring, the more chests that will drop. You don't have to do it once per day to get that 7 drop boost every day. That just isn't here for this collab. So check the schedule. When you see the collab monsters will be available to farm, you can, like I said, max luck all 4 monsters without even evolving them. They are already ready to go to be maxed out as they drop. And all the quests that you saw on that first screen, the 4 quests that are in this stage, actually we can go to the schedule, right? Schedule. There you go. That you can see that 5 monsters will have bonus drops at their X clear. X being the 3rd, 5th, and 7th. You will get 3, 5, and 7 drops as a bonus respectively to finish them. And you can see that I'm almost done with Mihawk there, which is nice. Now, there are 2 flavors of these quests. The first is an alternating 6-star quest, basically at noon and midnight every day in Japan. They will switch between the 2. For those of you in the Pacific time zone like me in California, that'll be at 8 o'clock a.m. and p.m. where the 2 stages will switch. So right now it's before 8 p.m. for example. It's after 8 a.m. when it started. So Mihawk is available right now, but at 8 p.m. it'll switch to Crocodile, and then we can farm for him. So again, make sure you're aware about that switch. You can of course see it on the schedule as well. I still have it, alerting me when it's up regardless, just so I'm aware of that. But do you note that Crocodile and Mihawk will be available for 12 hours at a time. They are not direct drop quests. Again, you want to bring monsters to max luck them. Today's Monster Strike Day, so just bring your OPs. But in all other days, all you need to do, just bring your max luck monster and farm the heck out of it. No rush, which is really nice. Now, we do have 2 scheduled quests. Those will come up on the schedule as usual. Just go ahead and take a look at them when they will drop. You can see that right there's the 8 o'clock switch for Crocodile. And I guess Big Mom is coming at 3 a.m. Pacific time. But I guess we're going to have to wait for Hancock and Don Flamingo coming up. There you go. So Hancock. First appearance will be on the 21st, and let's see, Doflamingo, his first appearance will be on the 22nd. So we won't be able to take advantage of them on this Monster Strike Day, but you should be able to finish Mihawk and Crocodile if you want. Now, we already talked about Big Mom. She will be the Insidious quest for this stage. This one is functioning like a farmable Insidious, so all monsters will be treated as max luck, so there's no need to bring any max lucks for her stage. Just make sure you bring your OPs and farm her away. Again, don't forget about the bonus mission, which if you are able to clear her quest without any null magic circle abilities on, as an ability, you will get double drops by default. So again, do not forget about those missions. Now, let's talk about Chopper here. You can pick up Chopper in the Sacred Beast area, the forest here. Go to the normal Ikse button here and then move over to here. And you will see Chopper available as a Guardian Beast. His abilities is that it will heal all status effects, including Magic Circle Chicken, and will heal up to X% of your max HP. And I may have described this incorrectly on the Monster Strike news stage, so I want to make sure it's clear here. It will heal to that percentage value, right? It doesn't heal that amount, but just goes up to that particular value. So a little bit different from Vivian, but obviously you're probably going to be focusing on the first half of his ability, where it'll heal all status effects, especially that chicken. So do keep that in mind. That is a pretty strong ability, and people have been saying maybe he's already good enough at level 1, right? Do you want to actually spend your shards to get from 50% of your HP to 80% instead? That's an interesting prospect. He is good enough as he is in level 1. So maybe hold off on spending. Like, you definitely want to farm your shards, because actually, this is one thing I want to point out in the missions here. Do you note that the first missions for Choppers on both difficulties, he does have a easier Kyukyoku strategy difficulty as well as a Chozetsu level. You need to clear the bottom to take that on. But do you note that the rewards are 50 shards each for just clearing it with a One Piece collab monster in your party? That's a free 100 shards that you can pick up. Do not miss out on that. That is really nice, because you can, if you want, actually finish off Chopper with just this collab alone. Usually you can only get 400 and you have to steal 100 from somebody else. But you can also use that for somebody else as well. So again, think about it a little bit. I'm not sure what's the optimal strategy. Like I said, people have noted that just getting to 50% heal, again, going up to 50% of your max HP, that might be good enough. So is there a big difference from 50 to 80 to spend that 500 pieces of shards to get him up there? That's a good question, and I don't know if that's actually the optimal strategy. So do consider that as an option. Maybe ask around to other folks on what they're doing. It is an interesting prospect to just leave him at level 1, and that might be a-okay. Do note that his requirement that your current HP must be under 40% of your max HP. So you're gonna have to be in a scary position to be able to use the strike shot, not strike shot, his sacred beast ability. But if that's something that's just something you have to keep in mind, that if you're healed up, you won't be able to use his ability. You may have noticed that on login, Uta is singing at the very beginning. I would have loved to show here, but that kind of stuff gets you copyright striked. So I don't want to do that, especially on a rundown video. But do note that every time you log in, you will get 13 copies of Uta. Uta does function as a max luck monster for the duration of the collab. So for those of you just starting, make sure you take advantage of that. And don't forget that on day 3 and 6 of the collab, you will be able to get a free Tokudama, which gives you a free single pull on the gacha. You may have noticed when playing stages that at the very end you will get some bonus God points reward. There are 6 different missions available in order from top to bottom. Is, well, 1, just clear the quest. You will get that no matter what. 2, if that quest was a collab quest, One Piece collab quest, you will get another point. If you clear that quest with a One Piece character in your team, you will get another point. 4th one is you use a strike shot during the event. This is an interesting one because if you clear a quest too quickly, you won't be able to use a strike shot. So I have actually missed out this reward on a few of my runs with Mihawk. So just don't forget. If you get that bonus to start off with a strike shot, I actually use it right away, so I don't forget to use it. Keep that in mind when you play. Number 5 is to clear with an S rank. Just be cognizant to actually be playing quickly so that you can get that S rank. This should not be hard to get. And the 6th one is to pick up an item on the stage. Mihawk, it's really easy. There's items everywhere. But for other stages, it might just be something that you have to watch out for. Make sure you do end up picking up an item somewhere in that stage to get that cleared. So that means you can get a maximum of 6 points per mission that you clear. You do not have to be the host for this. You can be a host or a guest to get credit. And this will apply to any normal quest, event quest, temples, the library. You can see based on this icon on the stage which stages will be able to take advantage of the God Point missions. Now, obviously, you're going to be missing out on the collab event quest one if, you, for example, you do something in the library. But, all those other 5 will apply, as long as you're, taking advantage of that properly. So, it's an easy way to get rewards. Now, what do you do with these God points? You can go to the monster screen here, and then on top, you see Usopp's workshop here. Now, this is important, and I failed to, highlight this in my news video, but this is important. You will only be able to exchange 1 item per day, right? That's very important. Let me say that again. You can only exchange an item once per day. So be careful about that. Make sure you're aware of what you want to pick up. Now, obviously, you want to pick up the orbs. That's 10 orbs. The first time you can get it at 50. There's a second one for 100 God points. There's also 2 Tokudamas you can pick up for 15 God points each. Now, if you want to just do that at once, and as you know, I am going to wait a day to do this, so I'm actually going to pick up those Tokudamas first for myself. But you can see now that I've exchanged for that Tokudama, I cannot exchange for anything else this day. In this text in yellow, it says you've done your maximum for the day. There have been reports that you can get a lucky result while exchanging, and that will allow you to exchange one more time that day. But don't use that as a crutch to expect trying to pick up everything. I was excited that they said that there was no limits for these items, but I just failed to notice that you can only exchange once per day. So be careful about that. And also on the flip side, don't forget to exchange each day, because you will be losing out on rewards if you don't at least get one for that day. All right. So very important. I just want to make sure that you guys don't miss this and you mess this up. Once per day maximum. Maybe you get lucky for 2, but just assume that you can only exchange once per day. And just don't forget as well. So that is the God Point rewards. Let's move on. You may have noticed that there is a box here that you can get. It is a random chance to get one of these 6 items. You can see the percentages there on the screen. However, do be careful that this orb exchange ticket, that has changed. That's what you get from Affinity now. And, it does have a new restriction where if you have more than 200 orbs, like I do right now, and you try to exchange, it will be grayed out saying that, hey, you have more than 200 orbs, you can exchange for this. A little bit of a pain, but, that's what the new system is. You do have a limit of 40 per month. So, for those of you who save up for, maybe the end of the year, I usually don't go under 250, 300 orbs unless it's a pretty rare case. So, I'll probably wait until the end of the year to use them all. But, just keep in mind that even if you get that orb reward, it is an orb ticket, and that does have a restriction on them. You may have also noticed that there is a skull. Let's see, go back here. There we go. You'll see this Ableberry scroll. It does have a skull on it, so that is an indication that it can only be used on One Piece characters. You'll be able to use it here on the scroll screen if you have one in your possession. There you go. And then you can pick any One Piece character to give that Ableberry scroll. You must use it by September 3rd, or otherwise it'll go away forever. You can use it on drop monsters too, so even if you bust on gacha monsters, you can still find a solid, monster like Big Mom maybe to use that on. Now, there are some miscellaneous notes before we call it a day. There are going to be available additional good job stickers today and the 30th. I've already exchanged for them. Just make sure you pick them up. They are pretty cute. Yep. So pretty cool, good job stickers. So make sure you pick them up. You have 2 opportunities, like I said, on the 20th and 30th. There will be a special live stream on the 24th of August at 6 p.m. Japan time, 2 hours later than the usual Monster Strike news time. But of course, 24th is a Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. So one day, an early news. We might get new news at that broadcast, so I would highly suggest tuning in to that if you, are a late bird. And there is supposed to be some kind of collab with the One Piece Treasure Cruise game. I did not pick that up before doing this video, so I'm not sure what it is. But for those of you interested in that game as well, make sure you check that out at the respective sources. And I know some people were concerned that, their voices might go away for One Piece. Don't worry, we are guaranteed to have them forever. They will not go away and have the weird sound as the background instead. So enjoy One Piece for the rest of your life in Monster Strike. And that is it for today. I will, of course, be pulling on this a little bit later. Like I said, I will, keep the quirks of the collab strike shot monsters a little bit later, so that for those of you who like that technical information, you will be able to have that handy. But up until now, if you have any questions, do let me know. There's a lot of things we have to handle here, and this is a 40-minute video. My voice is going to go out, but more than happy to help. That's why I'm uploading this as soon as possible, so that you guys can get the information you need to get that under your belt. Anyways, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. If you want the latest news in Monster Strike in English, this is the place to get it. ENGMonst on Twitter to see all of the slides that I put on Monster Strike News. Those are available. All those translated missions are also available there, so that you can use that at any time. And of course, the Discord channel to talk with all the other people who speak English and love the game, maybe One Piece as well. You can show off your gacha results too. Some will be happy, some will be upset. That's just life. But I hope good luck on your channel, on your adventure here with One Piece. Do let me know if there's anything I can help. I will be glad to answer that for you. Whew. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.